You, sorry, you are so smart. You're so smart. Do you know that? Queen of Earth. Yes, you are so smart. To me, this is also the Queen of Fire. It's like a mixture of it. Okay, so this is for. I actually rolled the dice a lot, and we're in Pisces season. We're just gonna have a chat for a second. We're in Pisces season when I'm recording this, but I kept rolling the zodiac dice, and it was like Virgo, Pisces, Virgo, Pisces, Virgo, Pisces. It's very powerful stuff. See, Pisces. It just rolled Pisces again. So that in your chart is big. This time is important. But I realized after going through this, and this is relevant to you too, there's something like, what have I already done? You know, where am I? Okay, let's write this down. Hold on a second. Where am I? Let me write the date on this so that in case I reference later, I can understand where I was then. Where am I? That's now, though. Present. Now, present. So someone's going over and they're realizing, okay, oh yeah, what have I done? What have I done? Although when I said that, it's like, oh, I heard someone say like, oh, what have I done? So it almost has like a little bit of a density to one side of it. I don't know if this is shame for the past or something, like what have I done? Or it's a discourage. Either way, it's kind of discouraged is the way I sort of felt that. So you want to focus this in the positive. And maybe for some of you, if you're in a hole, this is specific to Leo rising, with Mars going through your 12th house is huge until June. It would make sense that you're hiding. I mean, we're not even showing our face right now, right? We're just, so maybe you want to talk on the phone to somebody. You know, you can't hear them. You can't see them, but you can hear them. You can't see them. So someone else talked about that. So you can hear it. They said they could feel it. You can hear it, but you can't see it. I mean, you could see it. You could. The can't it is a could. But in that moment, in that situation, you can't, and that's okay to take that one thing away. Because I heard because it makes sense. I also made a painting for you. This is the past. Seemingly I made a dragon. Not meaning to. It's like subconscious. So we made a... this is past or past life energy. And then I also decided to pull from the art I've been making lately. And we ended up with this future energy, which looks like a rabbit. That's in tune with the moon. It works in 28-day cycles. This is the very early parts of March, so maybe if you find this later, you could reference that time frame. And 28 months ago, 28 months ahead. Once Aries season starts too, because that's one of the other signs that's hiding is you, Leo, Aquarius, and Aries. And that's when I finally put that together. I was like, man, you're so smart. It's like we don't even got to tell you. Someone doesn't need to be told something. They just know, and they're already doing it. Well, that's good. That's something you can trust. Okay. We mentioned specifically, though, what have you... Maybe we ought to change that sentence. What have I done to... What have I... Well, I heard, okay, let go of. Which is sort of the foundation or like the bottom bun to the sandwich. And the sandwich is, where am I? Gemini talked about who am I and who do I want to be. You are where am I and what have I let go of. because once and there's an acknowledgement of what has been let go of, then that's gonna, it's like, because I think that thing was holding someone in place. I'm seeing like where you put a pole in the ground and there's a chain or like a rope or what have you, and then like an animal sort of attached to that. It's like you can only go so far. But then this is also, you can create a perfect circle like this too, right? Well, I guess we can start using the tools in different ways, in ways of where am I now, right? Maybe using the thing that used to feel like, all right, I'm stuck here. I'm here. I mean, for some of you, this is till June with certain things because of astrological situations. Saturn's at the very end of its cycle, which is opposing you. Okay. So the thing that was holding a person in place that they could only go so far from, once they realize, okay, wait, I can let go of this. I can let go of this. I'm not tied to this. And maybe for some of you, it's like, well, I tied the knot, so I can untie it. And if it's too complicated, I see you have a knife, so it's fine. You have another tool. Now, from that point, then you can say, where am I? And maybe you take this stick that was in the ground, again, holding you, and you use it as, I'm seeing it as a wand or like as a walking stick. And then you go where you're going, and then you can use that to make a perfect circle around you. This could be for protection. It could also be for an awareness of, I see awareness of perfection. So Virgo talked a lot about perfection. If you're curious about that, let me grab my coffee. I feel like I'm getting kind of excited feeling like I'm like you haven't talked to someone for a while and then you're just so excited to talk to them. You get all the things to say. So who is it you haven't talked to in a while that would just make your day? That might be helpful. This is a water dragon, by the way. Something to think about. It doesn't blow fire. It can hold its breath underwater. Okay. Let's see what situations I guess you're working through or dealing with. All right, that's too many. Let's just take the ones that are upright. Okay. We have success. Great. Libra had, I feel like we talked about this unicorn card came out recently. Okay, we have a word I don't know. Surfeit. We're going to look that up. And stability. Okay, so success, well, that's a good situation. Stability, that's a good situation. But surfeit's in the middle. Hold on. It's not a number, it's a situation. So surfeit. So there's something that could be tempting a person, like a forceful temptation that's creating laziness or like slowness, but I feel like that's a good thing. All the signs this month collectively have been talking about taking space. It's actually been for a few months, and I can actually say I have some very dear Leo people in my life, and it's definitely an energy that they are also working through, and I feel like that's healing because a lot of people are attracted to Leo's light, and you have to replenish, because that light isn't, although it can be electric, like electricity where you can plug it in and it can stay on for a really long time, but sometimes you got to change the bulb versus like tending the fire constantly like Sag, right? Okay, let's just read this card. Because it sits in the middle, it must be important. I feel like I need to catch my breath. Right, we are talking fast. It's excitable, it's getting excitable, it's building, but I also sense that usually is a little bit of, I heard backdraft, nervous, which is kind of moving into a place of, okay, this nervousness is actually, I understand this is a place of awareness and I need to pay attention. This card says it represents a sense of indifference arising from excessive satisfaction of specific needs or overindulgence in something that can lead to a feeling of joylessness and imbalance. So I guess we're talking about moderation. It says this can be a situation in which a person grows weary of everything in life, losing the ability to derive pleasure even from the situations that once invigorated and inspired them. It says the woman here depicted in the card appears to have it all. She occupies a high pedestal above the city, enjoying both recognition and the possibility of romance, if not love, as indicated by the 2 cups and the roses on the table. I was painting, sorry. It says, nevertheless, the card's heroine turns away languidly from these potential joys. Whether willingly or unwillingly, she dissipates her resources by feeding the pigeons and adopting a giving nature. The card's background conveys tension with the city's sharp spires and the striking clocks on the tower, serving as a reminder that everything is subject to change. And such lavish resourcefulness can't be sustained indefinitely. Birds circle above her, illustrating how excessive giving can sometimes lead to a loss of what we need for ourselves. Achieving balance can be a complex endeavor, but it is conspicuously absent in this card. So it's almost as if this success and stability is like around the corner or in a trine time. Oh, so that goes into May, June. So there could be something, and I know a lot of you here, okay, personal Leo placements. I also see generational Leo placements. A lot of you here have Uranus and Leo, right? And specifically Leo rising, which is going to be the energy of Leo no matter what. It's the collective that holds Leo rising that actually, represents the bigger whole of the lesson of that sign. The ones that have it in the personal planets in that sign, regardless of the house, is going to show how they are functioning in their own little world, like an individual world versus the collective with the rising. Does that make sense? So that's really important because Mars is going through the 12th house, and that makes you question everything. Is Saturn opposing you in the for the last 2 years will make you, I'm sure made you feel like either backed in a corner or drained of energy or blocked in some way where it could just kind of be, maybe some of you have decided to indulge. I don't know if it's in food or in drink or in bad relationships or lack of, because what did this say? Yeah, Mars in the 12th definitely will derive pleasure even from situations that used to be fulfilling. And this may be one of those things. We have success and stability. It may be what you've been doing. I don't know why. Oh, some of you are smokers, okay? Or this has to do with eating. I see who you connect with. So maybe what someone's really checking in with, where am I now in relation to what I have been doing? What have I done? Because maybe that's the thing too, is I guess you kind of have two whats. What am I doing? And that's a present energy, but there's also something about it. The doing means we are in the process of, but that also connects to the word done in a past tense, because you'd have to have done something before to be able to build these pyramids. You know, these pyramids are showing themselves, so you've done that. This is to your back. You've done that. You built that. You went there. And it's kind of now is like, what is success? Because in a physical world, in this earthly realm, that may... Okay, what do I see? Well, success is different things to different people. And I guess the question is now, as you realize that you're no longer pinned to this situation, well, I guess you have more options now to what you'd like it to be and where, because that will lead you to a new place. I kind of see this physically for some of you. Or maybe that's just happened over the last 2 years, which is really important. Because I think that's more what we're looking for, or looking for, is, all right, I've already done, what have I done? You've done this. This is good. I heard you don't have to put any shame in that. This is something of, this is crafted well. And it has a bigger purpose behind it versus just someone wanting to do it for themselves. Okay. Because whatever you're actually doing right now is successful. Let's expand on that a little bit. Let's see. Oh, that one. Page of Pentacles. So, you're learning something right now? You're learning something from the trees. Someone needs to take more vitamins and minerals. Oh, that's something to be aware of. The Mars in Cancer to me is the crab molting. We're all doing it, whether we realize it or not. But that stage, that can kind of like, because this card to me also represents like a depletion of the body. And so we have to nourish it to be able to be successful. Like, it's almost like success. What I saw earlier was like, you know, some people think success is money, right? So, that kind of richness. But this is also like health is wealth. That kind of thing. So maybe there's some dietary changes that actually make you feel better. That could be part of that indulgence. You know, maybe again, it's just been like, I've been eating too much junk food. I'm not eating very well. I'm not treating myself very well. I heard, why would I do that? Six of Wands, good. And those kinds of questions, because that's not being mean to yourself, but because who's going to call you out? Nobody, because they can't. You're fire. No one can tell fire what to do. It does what it does. So that, because this is also a health card to me. So I see this, yeah, in health and in work. These more, again, like sort of earthly, physical things. I want you to well, hold on a second. It's not about what I want. It's about what's happening, like what's really in front of me. I need to read it like that. I need to perceive it like that. It isn't just what I want. Because I could be tainting it, or I don't know. You know, it's okay. So that's a kind of awareness here. Just a minute. Taking a class right now, you could do really well in it. This also shows me May, June, again, May, June. Again, it keeps June. There's another 6 in the Fool. To me, this is positive Fool energy. It's more of a beginning. It's feeling secure again. It's feeling stable again. Because that might have felt like something in the past. It's like I had stability, or I used to feel stable in my relationships and how I communicate and the decisions that I'm making. But something came along that made a person realize, like, I heard there are different things that I'm supposed to love. Because, temperance in reverse is a lot of excess of things. It was just 21, 21. So I heard, what do you do too much of? Because you might need to just spread some of your love around, and especially while your energy is so sensitive. Again, we're even like conserving our energy by just calling on the phone versus going to somebody's house and hanging out, right? We're still connecting, still intimate and deep and honest and loving, but we understand like the energy of it, because when Mars is in Cancer, maybe some of you have this, or like specifically this transit of Mars through Cancer is so regenerative, but it's very sensitive, and you have to watch your energy. Usually you hide. Or during one of the stages, you particularly hide. And it needs to be. It needs to be like that. Even if you were lovers, like partnered up, living with someone, dating. You take space from everything. I guess if someone's single, they're also more focusing on work and their own success in that way, in the material world. It's kind of like, I heard, I don't have time to argue. But I heard, don't give up on love. Well, I heard only a fool does that, right? And, all right, interesting. And I heard you're allowed to love yourself. 2 of Swords and the Devil. I heard if someone's not nice to you, they don't like you. If someone's not nice to someone, I heard that means they don't like you. And I'm seeing that thing where a person becomes, you know, they're aware of the fact of like, okay, if they say that about them, what do they say about me? So we're talking about like gossip energy. But I think it's more, this doesn't have to be being dealt with right now and happening, but it's an awareness of, well, I heard what I'm doing is important to me. And I guess if you're not important in that situation in relation to somebody else, then I guess you don't need to be wasting your time. I could also see where someone breaks up with somebody and then they start drinking, or like that, or they start excessively, you know, like just not treating themselves well, making bad decisions about what they're putting in their body. 6 of Pentacles is also another health card to me. But this is like gentle energy. Like right now, it's Ramadan, it's Lent, it's a time of fasting. Fasting again from people, from communication, from different, it depends wherever you've been putting too much of something, right? And especially like mentally, because again, that Saturn across from you has been hard on everybody, but particularly on you and your light and your positivity. It could have been hitting some of you like really hard. You know, especially Pluto going through Capricorn in conjuncting you. It was like a double whammy. And now Mars is like at your side, so you're trying to like just sort of hide in the bushes so you don't get involved with the drama. All right. Or that's what, right? Because drama is gossip and all this stuff over here, which is not stable. That's not a stable person. You never really want somebody that talks smack about somebody else, you know, whether maybe that's who, this is interesting, we're getting a romance, but maybe it, I heard you love to date. Five of Pentacles is about dating the wrong person. So maybe judgment, yes. So if some of you still are, and you know, then that's it. We've already gone over this. When you talk about them, if they don't make you smile, something's wrong. And then I heard, and then you check where you are. Where are you with that? And if this isn't a previous situation that's still sort of, I don't know, it showed up. If that's still happening, maybe you want to ask yourself where you are with something. And then I see where. Now where am I going? Oh, I see. Okay, got it. Hold on. Give me just a minute. You remember Burger Time? I feel like where am I is the middle of the sandwich. What you've let go of is still sort of, so the past is still on top in a certain kind of way. What does that mean? The past is still, okay. I heard Gemini. Or I'm not even going to bother. I heard shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. I heard I'm not shit. I'm not a pile of shit. You don't need to be near me. Okay. All right. Let's see, what's he learning? Oh, Nine of Pentacles. So you're learning to, some of you are being trained for something, or you're taking like a training course or a class. This would be very beneficial. This could be a health class. I guess we said that word a lot. Like maybe it could be Nine of Pentacles, like herbal medicine, or learning about the plants, maybe biology. And it could also be something spiritual also. This 9, what do you call it? A person that studies birds? But you pick it up really quick. I guess if you are involved right now, you love Leo. And I heard, and you deserve it. That's the biggest part, the last part. You deserve it. You deserve healthy, loving love. That's fun and, well, I see the word respectful. So if you are dating somebody right now, involved with seeing somebody right now, I guess this is saying that you need to focus on yourself, your own health, and I see and where you're going. Right, because where the Nine of Pentacles, for instance, naturally, without even thinking too hard, where does it go from here? Well, it goes to this card right here, the Ten of Pentacles, which then is a bunch of other people. And I'm seeing this 10 as like spring for some reason. So like, again, getting into Aries energy. I guess that goes kind of back into May, June. It's like Taurus. Oh, again, great. So yeah, because Nine of Pentacles is another health card. Fascinating. But it, you know, and this does show physical health, but wands to me are, I mean, this is, oh, this is Earth too. Earth, Earth, Earth. You have a little bit of Virgo. Maybe that's why we rolled it. Maybe somebody doesn't like you. I guess you're always going to have somebody that doesn't like you because you're fire. You're always going to have... Fire to me always has an enemy or someone who's jealous. But the weird thing is you don't even know and you wouldn't even care, but it's still happening. So just make sure that people are being nice. You know, because again, fire to me will take a lot of shit. They're like, it doesn't bother me. I just burn it off. You can't affect me. But it does in your mind. It creeps in there what they said or how they said it or whatever. And so maybe that's also why you're supposed to focus on the body and what is it? What am I letting go of? Because it is a time religiously and historically, this is a time of fasting. Again, which is being without something, which therefore it gives space to release something. So some of you actually could lose a lot. You could lose weight really quickly, or if you're like you're super skinny right now, and you're like, wait a second, my bones are sticking out. Then maybe you need to build muscle. I don't know. You're gonna know because. Again, that Mars through Cancer is hard on our body. It pulls our calcium out of our body. It can create like a lot of different things that are happening all at the same time. Our liver, our pancreas. There's a lot of things. You know, these places in us that we don't see. They're kind of they're invisible to us, right? If work was burning you out, because the stability card also seems like a Ten of Pentacles kind of thing. If you'd been putting too much effort in there, again, if it's collective, but this break energy, taking a break, letting go of things, letting them be. I heard if they fall apart, then that's what's meant to be. You know, if you're the only one holding this whole thing together that has to do with too many other things, like that's way too much. Maybe that's the excess. I mean, I guess we talked about it. Where is it in your life? Because Nine of Pentacles definitely knows how to handle things in the right way so that she doesn't get burnt out. Right? Look at that face. Oh, it's just 33. Cool. All right, let's choose a zooming wisdom to close this out. I love you, Leo. You want to see the box I made myself? Mine's a little bit different than everybody else's, but... I like it that way. I like to be inspired by other people, but I don't enjoy mimicry. Because that's not authentic. Harmony. Oh, I love you, Zumi. Harmony. This is actually the Ace of Pentacles in this deck. Awesome. So, this is a card of balance. This is a card of when the flowers start blooming. When the flowers start blooming. When the flowers start blooming. Right? Because the desert is dry. The desert doesn't have any water. That's also Mars in Cancer. It like burns it off. You know, it's like the beach is on fire. The water can't hit it because the fire, it's like a wall of fire. And seemingly someone got away from the fire because now they're up in this tower away from the, I guess, the beach on fire. So good job on recognizing that. Some of you need to wear like softer clothes, especially if you're female. It's like loose fitting, but not because you're trying to hide, but like something that feels soft. It's not revealing. It's not being prudish. It's just, it's like it's like, this is comfortable to me. This feels good to me. I heard I like this when this touches my body. I like my body. And the parts of your body, I guess, that you don't like, this can be inside or outside. Some of you need to get a pedicure. Especially if your toes are doing something like, all of a sudden, like your toes being weird. I mean, I guess you can just wash your own feet, but there's something, this is almost like a, you know, people, it feels professionally. They do all the bits. I'm seeing someone put on glasses so they can really pay attention to it. But that, because our feet show a lot of our health, right? Just like our teeth. It's the parts of Saturn that are on the outside that we can see. Because I think at this point, you really you don't need to be, I don't think that you are going to be surprised. Like, I feel like a person knows what to be cautious about. They've already been around the block. Which therefore shows you don't have to have any guilt about what have I done. Because seemingly you've done, I mean, you've done too much of something in certain ways. But I don't even think that necessarily was a bad thing. Maybe you just had to go to one end of something so you could, it's like Libra, you go to one end and you're like, touch. It's like you do those suicide sprints. Right? And then you finally get to the end and you're like, touch. And then you go back. Maybe a person just wanted to push themselves to see what they could do. But what we're looking for and what Zumi suggested is harmony, yes, and that will make you feel more content. Because that's also what the nine of Pentacles is. And again, both these cards are balance. So if you can't just talk to somebody easily, maybe if someone's just realizing that or realize that. It's like, if I don't keep this conversation going, then if I don't keep putting my energy into this, it just kind of fades away or like floats off. It's like, yeah, good. Realize that. I heard don't waste your energy, especially with this Mars through Cancer. And the Saturn, again, on the tail end. Because it's going to suck. It'll suck you dry. You know, like put the fire right out. And it's unnecessary. Because you're also building this spiritual fire within, which helps you to feel more attractive and again, like comfortable in your body because your spirit's back to where it was. Because I sense that, it was dry, right? All this air and earth over here is dry and cold. But then... So actually there was something that you were meant to stop talking to, or having an argument with yourself, like having the same argument with yourself back and forth about. Or you had to start thinking about something differently. Once that happens, then a person feels really comfortable. And I really feel like I have to just say it because, I don't know, I appreciate this as a Leo rising. It's like someone calling you out on your shit. Like if you're dating, Sag said it too. It's like if you're dating a punk, it's not stable. You're giving them a lot of time and energy, all your harmony and your body and all of that. It's like, no, you're not supposed to date them. You should be single. You do better. Your money will be better. Your body will be better. Your health will be better. Everything. All the earth houses will advance. And I guess if you're dating, you have to focus again in on yourself, because that's just where the energy needs to go. Like your own learning. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning, where am I? Again, what have I let go of? There's some really deep questions here. What am I letting go of right now? And you get the opportunity to decide and choose for yourself. Now, where am I going? Where would I like to go? I mean, there's no rush about it. There's also something about September. I see May, again, June, really strong. And I do see an old Gemini or an old lover or somebody that you dated, or some beef with your kids or something like that. It's like, that's out the window. Who gives a shit? I'm not going to try to get the jerk to be nice to me or to somebody else. I'm just going to recognize that they're a jerk. Devil. That they are what they are. That they are what they're showing me, right? And it's not something, it's not, because again, we can look at anything and make it what we want it to be. We can just see what we want to see. But that's not the point here. We want to accept the reality, and then look to what is really possible, because there's a lot that's possible here, especially if you just put in some simple efforts into things. There's such positive energy here around this success card. And this could just be little day-to-day adjustments. It doesn't have to be big, huge, dietary, crazy, like I'm changing my whole life kind of thing. It's just real basic, like maybe it's kicking off your shoes. Like, how do you relax? Too, because, again, a lot has happened to Leo over these last few years. Probably lots of letting go and struggle. But now we're entering a new, from here, I heard from henceforth, we enter into a new time. All right. Whoa. Yeah, Queen of Wands. There you go. Zinga. You got it. You get your power back. Because that's what's missing here, is the fire to get it going. And I think that's why you have to wait at least until April for something. April, again, May. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, Leo. Peace out.